Welcome to the Webby O'Neill channel. Paul Scholes, great to have you back.
Talking about obviously what's going on in the season, Paul, the word on the street, Solskjaer about to sign a new 3-year contract. What's your view on it?
Yeah, I think he probably deserves it. I think there's been progress, hasn't there, from the manager before him. Let's say that anyway. I think the team look a lot better, a lot more exciting. There's goals in the team, which you always expect from United teams anyway. I think the only problem is winning something. I think losing, was it 4 semi-finals he lost last season? Yeah. Is a little bit of a worry, I suppose, and losing that quarter final to Leicester as well. It wasn't good. I think for fans especially. I think Europa League was tough in Milan. Players did look a little bit jaded. I thought Fernandes especially. Yeah. He probably did need the rest against Leicester, but on the other hand, I don't think United are in a position to rest people for big games. Yeah. I think they've got 12, 13 players that are good enough to go and win a lot of games. Is the squad then deep enough when you're leaving these better players out to go on and win big games? And that was a disappointment, of course it was. And you have to say, now at the FA Cup and Europa League, I'd probably still want to win the FA Cup. Europa League's not really where United want to be or should be, but they're in it. They've got a great chance of winning that, of course they have, with the teams that are left in it. And I think there's progress, but I just think he needs to try and win something.
Well, looking at, obviously, me and Tony spoke on a previous video about how deep the FA Cup is, not just for the players, for the fans as well. We was very disappointed, not with the lineup, but for me, Paul, when he made those 4 substitutions, that said it for me. Those 4 should have started and not be brought on to chase a game against a very good Leicester team. Yeah,
Leicester's a really good team. You make a good point, and I think from the fans' point of view, a lot of my mates are United fans, and they were really disappointed that with the FA Cup, especially a chance to get to Wembley. It's still a big competition. As I say, I think they prefer to do well in that than the Europa League, and it's not been easy for Ole. It's not been easy for any manager because there's so many games. They're playing all the time. He needed to rest players. I wanted them. They had 2 weeks international break to go and get your rest with your country. Look, they still might be playing games, but so what? You try and win them big games. For Man United, and they didn't quite manage to do that. And do you know what? He did have a chance to rest when we played Sociedad here. Yeah. We beat them 4-0 away. I was amazed when I saw the team. Fernandes was starting. Other players were starting that I didn't expect to. You could have almost played an under-23 team against them, but he chose not to, and probably paid for that a little bit against Leicester.
Going forward, the fans, they're looking forward to the transfer in the summer. We're looking for a striker. That's the word out there. Solskjaer needs a striker. We need a striker. The club need a striker because, you've got Cavani there, bit part player. Yeah. That's what it's turned out to be. Seems to be going. Yeah. But a striker, who do you see out there that Man United for a striker?
I think you're right. First and foremost, they need a number 9. Yeah. I think the forwards they have are very good, but is any of them really a number 9? Of the wide players, you just can't make sense out of it, really. Cavani has been, when he's played, he's looked all right, but he's had a few injuries he's picked up. But he's at that age. It's always going to happen. He's always going to be a bit part. They needed somebody more permanent, and they need somebody more permanent now. Who's out there that's available? I know Haaland spoke about a lot. He's going to cost a lot of money. Harry Kane at Spurs, there's rumours that he might want to leave there. I think any one of them, you take any one of them, but I think if I had to choose between them, I think Haaland would definitely be the one, just purely for his age, great ability as well, the timing of his career. He's played under Ole before. I think it'd make sense for everyone to do it, but there's going to be other clubs in for him as well, which is going to be difficult.
So Haaland before Kane?
Yeah, just for me. Look, I love Kane. I think he'd be brilliant. When he first came onto the scene, I likened him to Ruud, to Van Nistelrooy. Yeah. I thought he was a ruthless finisher, desperate to score goals. I just think at the stages of each one's career now, I think you get more out of Haaland.
Do you think with Kane, there's a few injuries what keep popping up and down it, and his age, and that it is what the club philosophy is about, going for the young players. Yeah. And with Haaland, I mean, is just tremendous. He, to me, is the most accomplished striker out there in the world at the moment. He's fearless.
Yeah, he's the best striker out there in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. What is he, 20 years of age or something? It's ridiculous what he's doing. And if you sign him now, you've got 10 years of him. Yeah. With Harry Kane, what's Harry Kane's? He 29?
28, 29.
28, 29. In the peak of his career, but you're talking maybe 2 or 3 years as a top class striker. When you get to 31, 32, you probably losing your legs a little bit. You probably start dropping deep, as he started to do a little bit now, actually.
Yeah.
So the two, as for Haaland, he's going to cost a lot more money. They're both going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I think if you look into the future in the next few years, Haaland has to be the one.
I think with Kane though now, I think this is his time where if he wants to win something, he's got to move to a bigger club, and that's no disrespect to Tottenham. You know, he's got to move somewhere where he's going to challenge for the title, because Tottenham will challenge for 3 or 4 weeks, then disappear.
Yeah.
So there was talk last year of Real Madrid wanting, there was talk of City. Any big club's going to be interested in Kane, so I think now it's that win whether he's going to stay for the loyalty or go to win silverware, Paul.
I think you're right. It's all down to him. If he wants to go, there's going to be clubs who want him. Of course he will. He's a brilliant goal scorer, a brilliant centre forward. I just get the impression he's not going to leave. I don't know why. I just get the feeling he's going to be at Tottenham till he finishes.
Yeah. Well, the other talking point is centre halves. Do we need another centre half? Yeah, we could have one for the squad. But in your time, Paul, you've played with some outstanding centre halves here at Manchester United. Who do you see as your best pairing as centre halves at Manchester United, and the type of player what you choose as the best is something we need to go for, surely?
That type of player, I suppose. Look, my favourites were always Jaap Stam and Rio Ferdinand. Two demanding centre halves who, and you know what, it frees the rest of the team up when you've got such a big presence at centre back. It allows your midfield players to go on and score goals. It allows the full team just to relax and think, look, if you're under a bit of pressure, these two players, Jaap Stam and Rio, they're so strong, so quick, you just take the ball off them and you're back attacking again. That's how much you relied on them. When you're talking partnership, you think of the Rio Vidic. When I first came into the team, Bruce Pallister was
fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. That was right at the start of my career, and I only probably had 2 or 3 years with him. But what a partnership, what an understanding. Bruce is brave, would anything, end up with a smashed nose every week, stitches every week. Yeah. Pallister, again, very much in the Rio and Jaap Stam mould, where he'd just be too strong for people. He could come out with the ball. Trying to think of other partnerships. Stam and Rio didn't really work, I suppose. Both very similar type of centre half. Stam and Ronnie Johnson. Johnson, what a centre half.
Really good.
We've had so many great. You think of David May as well. David May's a brilliant centre half.
Looking at, obviously, going back to that Leicester game, and it still upsets a lot of United fans.
Johnny Evans. Can't get over that, can you?
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, yeah.
When Rio was at his ban, he stepped alongside Vidic and he was superb for the time he was out.
Yeah, look, Johnny was a brilliant player for this club. Were allowed to leave too young. Was it Van Gaal who let him go? Do you know what? He'd have still been playing. He'd have still been playing. What is it? 3 or 4 years later, 5 years, whatever it is, he's been gone. But you look at it. I say you look at the team now. I think Maguire and Lindelof have laid, especially Lindelof, who. I haven't been the biggest fan of, but I think he's done okay of late. He's looked a lot better, but I still think you need a centre half. Eric Bailly, you just don't know what you're going to get. No idea. He could come in, look great for 2 games, make a mistake, and then he's injured for the next 2 months. You've no idea what you get from him. So I think there's definitely that. If you're looking at a centre half, it's that type of Rio, Jaap Stam, Gary Pallister, that
Martin Buchan, football playing out.
I'm going back a bit there, Webby, aren't you?
Well.
I remember him.
But let him drift off there, Paul. Let him drift off there.
So we're just speaking about, obviously, quickly going about centre halves. We've got one at the club now, one out on loan at Derby. We've got Tuanzebe, who for me needs a good run in the team. And we've got Ted and Mengi, who just signed a new contract at Derby, who looks a beast and a player. You managed to see much of?
I haven't seen loads of them, to be honest with you. But Tuanzebe, again, he had a great year at Villa. I think he went on loan, did really well.
Villa wanted to keep him.
Yeah, and he did get a couple of chances there, which this season I think it didn't quite work out for him. I can't remember what game it was. He came off at half time.
was
again,
over in
he
Turkey,
just not
wasn't it,
played.
when he got booked.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, where he got beat by that team. But again, like you said, they need to run a games. It's like Van der Beek. Everyone's having a go at him. He plays one game. He don't play for the next 10 games. It's impossible for them type of players to get any kind of form if you're not playing games.
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish on that note. So thanks for that, Paul. Press the like button, put your comments in, and please subscribe.